Hey everyone, and welcome back to What If Goten Was Born Early. This is part 2. I'll leave links to the previous parts in the description and in the cards. Just before we begin, I'd like to remind all of you to subscribe and ring the bell if you really enjoy what I do here. It really does help me out. I'd also like to let you all know that I'm now on Patreon. If you guys feel like supporting me, you can do so there. The link will be in the description. Thank you very much. So, to recap. Goten was born in February, age 762, making him just under 5 years younger than Gohan. Upon meeting him, Goten idolized the Trunks from the future, thinking he was really strong and cool. Goten joined in with the 3 years of training and came on leaps and bounds. After taking Yajirobe and Bulma to Capsule Corp, Gohan and Goten went to investigate the old time machine with Trunks, and soon after they were taken to the lookout by Goku. When Goku and Gohan emerged from the Room of Spirit and Time, it was Goten's turn to enter with Piccolo. Goten reached Grade 4, or Full Power Super Saiyan, by the age of 6, leaving his father in awe. Goten handled himself well at the Cell Games, but after Goku's sacrifice, Cell's return, and Trunks' subsequent death, something inside Goten snapped. He exploded into Super Saiyan 2 and joined his brother on the battlefield. With some encouragement from their father and a well-timed distraction by Vegeta, the brothers obliterate Cell, leaving the world at peace for the next 7 years. And that's where we'll pick up our story today. In the aftermath of the Cell Games, the world changes exactly as you would expect. Mr. Satan takes credit for defeating Cell, launching himself and his daughter into fame and fortune. Meanwhile, the wishes are made to revive everyone killed by Cell and to remove the bombs from the cyborgs. This obviously leads to number 18 and Krillin getting together later. Goku, as in the original, chooses not to come back to life, reasoning that the world keeps being threatened because of him. And so the 7-year time skip begins. In this time, Gohan does sadly slack on his training in a big way. Remember that Gohan wants to be a scholar, it's not all Chi-Chi. He would be working hard to eventually get into Orange Star High School. Goten, on the other hand? Gohan's studies don't set Goten back as much as you'd think it might. Goten actually spends a lot of time with Piccolo, who teaches him to control his energy better, and trains with him whenever he can, really. After a few years have passed, Goten starts visiting Trunks more frequently. Vegeta seems too busy to train him, so Goten volunteers. It's during one of these training sessions that Trunks gets mad and turns into a Super Saiyan. Goten is astounded. He, his brother and father had to work so hard for that transformation, but Trunks did it like it was nothing. Goten kept up his visits and training with Trunks all the way through the time skip. Otherwise, everything happens as usual. Gohan becomes the Great Saiyaman and gets blackmailed into fighting in the Tenkaichi Budokai. Upon hearing this, Goku decides to use his one day on Earth to compete, sparking Vegeta's interest. The day of the tournament comes at last, and it kicks off with a junior division, which is extremely boring for Trunks, and he wins easily. Then comes the adult division. The roster is basically the same, except for Goten taking the place of Mighty Mask. Unfortunately, the tournament goes the same way as it did in the original, meaning Goten doesn't get to fight here, but he does join the group that gives chase to Babidi's minions. Number 18 convinces Krillin to stay behind this time around for the prize money. She reasons that Gohan and Goten are with them, so they'll be fine. As usual, a battle royale is declared, Krillin taking Mighty Mask's place, and Mr. Satan wins because number 18 allows it, in exchange for compensation, of course. Meanwhile, the others witness Babidi killing Yamu and Spopovich. In the blink of an eye, Dabra destroys Kibito and spits on Piccolo, before beckoning the others inside. The first 3 floors go exactly as they do originally, with Goten choosing to allow Gohan to fight Dabra. Once Vegeta starts getting annoyed, Dabra retreats and Majin Vegeta is born. With events quickly spiraling the same way as the original, Gohan, Goten and Shin all go to stop Babidi, releasing Buu. Of course, as in the manga, Buu is released, almost immediately after they confront Babidi. Unlike the original, Goten is there, and tired of standing around. While Buu is being released, he powers up to Super Saiyan 2 and takes Dabra out of the way, finishing him off with a full power Kamehameha. At the same time, Gohan launches his own Kamehameha at Buu's shell. This time, without Dabra to knock him out of the way, Babidi is taken off guard and killed in this blast. Finally, Buu is awake, and acting like a big child. While Shin is petrified in fear, Gohan and Goten both stand there in shock, not really knowing what to do. Meanwhile, a newly freed Vegeta powers down, his emotions rushing back. He actually feels bad for what he's done. Goku splits the last Senzu beam with him, and they both head towards Boo's energy. Goten approaches Boo, a warm smile on his face nonetheless. He asks what Boo wants to do now that he's been released from his shell. Boo says that he just wants to have fun. Goten says that if he enjoys fighting, he'll fight him, but Boo has to promise not to kill anyone. Boo agrees to this, and the battle gets underway. Even in Super Saiyan 2, Goten doesn't really stand a chance against Boo. He's swiftly defeated, and Boo towers over him. But he holds out a hand and helps the young Saiyan to his feet. Goten uses this chance to talk Boo out of going on a rampage. His kind heart manages to sway Boo, and he promises that he won't hurt anyone. Shin isn't entirely happy with the friendly arrangement, but he holds his tongue. As Goku and Vegeta arrive and cotton on to what's happening, as well as Piccolo and Trunks joining them from up above, the latter having followed Boo's energy, the sky turns dark. It's Bulma, with Yamcha wishing upon Shenron to revive everyone killed that day, except the bad guys. Kibito returns to life, and after things calm down a little, they tell everyone that they will leave for their homeworld, but will continue monitoring the situation on Earth. Shin then asks if Gohan and Goten would like to train under him on the world of the Kais. Gohan is concerned about it interrupting school, but Shin tells him that he'll bring him back whenever he needs to return. The young Saiyans agree, leaving with Shin and Kibito, while Goku agrees to show Boo around for the rest of the day. Vegeta thinks it's a very stupid idea, but Trunks is very happy to have a new friend. Meanwhile, Gohan and Goten are introduced to the Z-Sword, and are tasked with pulling it from the stone. After a lot of effort, Goten manages to pull it out. It's excessively heavy, and Goten can't wield it quite as well as he hoped he would be able to, but him and Gohan soon both get the hang of handling the sword. Before long, Shin has the bright idea of throwing the hardest metal in the universe at Gohan, and he tries to hit it with the sword, but obviously it breaks. Shin and Kibito are dumbstruck by this, Kibito basically wailing over the corpse of the Z-Sword, before an old Kai pops out of it. The conversation that follows goes basically exactly as it does in the manga, but with Goten being there as well. Gohan is the first one to get his potential unlocked. Meanwhile, things with Boo are looking pretty good. He's all settled in, he has somewhere to live, and he's just chilling, really. He even has a pet dog now, a stray that he picked up and healed. Whenever Gohan comes back to go to school, he drops by and spends some time with Boo. Boo seems to be behaving himself, so Gohan doesn't have much of a concern. However, one weekend when he's away, things take a dire turn. Two hunters have heard there's a monster living in the middle of nowhere. Boo is outside playing with his dog, B, when the dog is shot by a sniper. Boo heals B, taking a couple of shots himself that don't affect him at all. But Boo is angry now, and with his anger, all the evil inside him begins to leak out. An evil Boo is formed, and after destroying the gunman, he squares up against our good Boo. And that's where we'll leave things for right now. What do you guys think? I hope you guys enjoyed this What If, and if you did, please consider subscribing and dropping a like. It does really help me out. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.